You don't need another fix your life before sunrise video. You don't need a new planner or an alarm that sounds like enlightenment. You don't need another influencer telling you to wake up at 4:59 a.m. and drink lemon water with purpose. Because let's be honest, the reason you can't stick to your morning routine has nothing to do with motivation. It's deeper. It's identity. It's about who you believe you are the moment you open your eyes. I used to tell myself I'd wake up at 5 a.m. I'd watch motivational videos, write down the perfect routine, even set the coffee maker the night before like I was prepping for war. And for a few days, it worked. I felt unstoppable. Then the feeling faded. The alarms got louder, but my willpower got quieter. I'd hit snooze once, then twice, and whisper the same lie. I'll do better next week. But next week never came. It wasn't because I didn't care. It was because, deep down, I still saw myself as the guy who couldn't stay consistent. That's the trap most of us fall into. We try to build new habits on top of an old identity, and it never sticks. See, habits don't fail because you're lazy. They fail because they don't match the story you keep telling yourself. If you believe you're not a morning person, you can stack alarms, prep your gym clothes, even romanticize your coffee setup, but your brain will always drag you back to the version of you it recognizes. Identity always wins. Motivation says, I want to wake up early. Identity says, I wake up early. One runs on willpower, the other rewires your autopilot. That's why the first few days feel electric. But when life hits, when you're tired, distracted, or unmotivated, motivation slips. Identity stays. Here's the truth. You can't bully yourself into discipline. You can't guilt trip yourself into consistency. You become consistent by acting like the person you want to be long before you feel like them. That's the quiet kind of growth, the kind that doesn't get posted, the kind that happens when no one's watching, when it's just you, your alarm, and the choice to move. You don't say, I'll start when I'm ready. You start, and that's what makes you ready. But here's what no one tells you. Identity isn't something you find. It's something you build, one small vote at a time. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you cast a vote for the kind of person you want to become. Miss a day? It doesn't erase the vote, because growth isn't about perfection, it's about evidence. See, your brain is always collecting proof that you are who you say you are. Every time you wake up on time, even once, that's proof. Every time you show up to the gym when you don't feel like it, that's proof. Every time you say no to old habits, even for a moment, that's proof. Those small wins are your new story being written, not in ink, but in action. So if you want to finally stick to a morning routine, stop chasing motivation and start building identity. Ask yourself, what would the disciplined version of me do right now? Then do that. Even if it feels awkward, even if it's small, even if you feel like a fraud pretending to be disciplined. Because change always feels cringe at first. Growth always feels awkward before it feels natural. Think of it like walking in a new pair of shoes, stiff, uncomfortable, unnatural. But the more you walk, the more they fit, until one day, you forget you're even wearing them. That's how identity works. Every choice you make is a vote, and those votes add up, quietly, invisibly, consistently, until one day, it's not something you try to do, it's just who you are. That's the real secret. You don't need to change your mornings. You need to change your story. Because once your identity shifts, discipline stops feeling like a fight. You stop chasing motivation and start moving from alignment. You stop trying to convince yourself and start being yourself. And that's when something beautiful happens. You stop measuring progress by how early you wake up or how perfect your routine looks, and start measuring it by how aligned you feel with the person you're becoming. Let's be honest. We all crave that version of ourselves that wakes up early, focused, calm, intentional. But that version isn't hiding in some perfect morning routine. They're hiding behind a series of decisions you haven't made yet. And those decisions start right now. Forget perfect. Forget 5 a.m., forget aesthetics. Pick one small action. Wake up 15 minutes earlier. Keep your phone off for the first 10 minutes. Write down one thing you're grateful for before touching social media. And here's the key, give it meaning. Say it out loud. This is me becoming disciplined. Because words shape belief, and belief shapes identity. Don't chase streaks, celebrate evidence. You don't need a perfect record. You just need proof that the story is changing. Because the truth is, transformation doesn't happen all at once. It happens in whispers, in quiet decisions, in the space between who you were and who you're becoming. Every morning, you get to choose the story that holds you back or the story that pulls you forward. Tomorrow, when that alarm rings, it won't just be a test of discipline. It'll be a question. Who are you becoming? And if you listen closely, the answer isn't in what you do next, it's in what you believe next. Because the moment you believe you're capable, you start acting like it. And when you act like it long enough, belief turns into identity. You don't need motivation. You don't need a planner. You don't need to watch someone else live the life you're capable of living. You just need a new story, one where you're not the person who tries anymore. You're the person who becomes. And that starts right now. So tomorrow morning, when it's just you and the alarm, remember this. You're not choosing between sleep and success. You're choosing between your old story and your new one. And the moment you decide that the new story wins, everything changes. Because when you change who you believe you are, your mornings don't just improve, they evolve. And in the next video, we'll talk about how your environment, your room, your phone, your friends, can either build that identity or break it. Until then, remember, you don't need more motivation. You need a new identity. And that starts the moment you open your eyes.